Hey guys, and welcome back to my Star Wars The Clone Wars vlog series. I am today talking about my thoughts on Season 1, Episode 9, Cloak of Darkness. Now, I guess I have to kind of reiterate my general thoughts on previous episode, Bombad Jedi, because it wasn't just an episode for showing how Jar Jar is a complete doofus and a liability. Because this episode immediately follows up on the end of that episode, and they have Newt Gunray in I can't even talk today. They have him on a Republic ship. They're bringing him to Coruscant, and the Jedi in charge of that is Master Luminara, and Ahsoka is with her. And we get introduced to these guys called the Senate Commandos, which is completely new to me. I mean, I guess that their armor, like their helmets, kind of looked like old Roman helmets, and I guess that there were some of those with saw in episode 1 we saw some helmets kind of like that, but those guys wore blue robes. Um, and so yeah, we're introduced to them. They're there as well to um, keep Gunray from being into any trouble, I guess. And of course, like Ventress gets sent by Dooku to infiltrate the ship and either rescue Gunray or silence him. And Gunray gets interrogated by Luminara and Ahsoka, and Luminara's being cool and composed, using the Force to sense any leads. And Ahsoka gets kind of tired of how slow things are going and literally threatens him with violence. I mean, she does end up saying, like, I didn't mean it. I just know that he'll only talk if he's threatened with violence. And I mean, that's true. He is a spineless slug. But I guess it was interesting to see her kind of acting out. She is still a Padawan and doesn't quite have a full grasp, even though the episodes so far have shown that she does have, in some cases, a lot more wisdom in her gut than Anakin. She is still, she is still impetuous like Anakin, so they're a lot alike in that regard. And Ventress goes in. She fights. Comes with these super battle droids. She plants explosives in the engine room, I think, or at least in part of it. And as she's trying to free Gunray, she sets those off, which gives her the chance. The Jedi are fighting her and all that stuff. And uh, it turns. So here's the thing. When the Senate Commandos were introduced, I immediately had a bad feeling about them, especially the captain. He just had really douchebaggery hair. Like he I just didn't like him. Like his design was kind of derpy looking, and I'm like, I don't trust these guys who I've never even heard of before. And it turns out that yes, the captain was offered payment if he betrayed them, and that's exactly what he does, and he manages to get Gunray out of there. And then, in typical fashion, Ventress goes and kills the captain so that he doesn't get any of the reward, any of the glory. So Gunray has successfully escaped, and they continue on, like Luminara and Ahsoka and the Republic ship continue on after them. So there's obviously going to be a part 3 to this little story. Let's see. And those are really all the notes that I wrote down. A whole bunch of this episode was a lot of action and fighting, and I will definitely be wanting to look forward to the animation and combat being more refined as the series goes on, because it was kind of janky to look at. Like so far, the animation has been extremely stiff, and there are a lot of characters have there's like a lot of characters where there's no real effort put into their expressions. Like Luminara, I mean, she did show different expressions, but they weren't all that good, More effort was put into like Ventress and Ahsoka, but in general, the lightsaber fights are still very just kind of stiff and not super exciting to watch, even though they dragged on for quite a while. Um, so I'm sure I'm gonna have to wait several seasons before I see any improvement, because I have seen like tiny little clips of more current episodes in this show just by people like throwing snippets into like videos or things, and it's like, yeah, the animation does improve a lot, which is kind of necessary for, say, a lightsaber fight. Um, and like for example, I really liked the animation of lightsaber duels in Genndy Tartakovsky's miniseries, which of course, he did Samurai Jack before that, so he had a good kind of like like he and his animators had like a good sense for like making really exciting blade battles. And um yeah, so that's one thing. And um like I knew Gunray was gonna get saved. There was no question. I just wasn't expecting it to then be immediately the episode after that. But at least this is good to see that there's more interconnected stories, and it's not all just like, because Bombad Jedi started off feeling like a really filler episode until the end when Gunray got captured, and then followed up with this episode. Um so yeah, we shall see what happens next. I doubt that Gunray will get recaptured, because then he'll just get rescued again, and then that would just get very old and stale. We all know that all the separatist leaders are still together at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and that they get all killed. So we're not gonna have to worry. Like, anyone who knows anything about like Revenge of the Sith would know that, yeah, anyone gets captured, they're just gonna get rescued or escape. So there's absolutely zero stakes in that, and we know that all these main Jedi are going to be okay as well. So yeah, that's the main thing about making this TV series, is that there's a lot of stakes that just don't even exist, because most of the characters are going to be just fine until Revenge of the Sith. I have zero investment in a lot of this. So that's kind of my biggest complaint. It's kind of like how with Rogue One, where it's like, I already, like, these characters are all made up specifically for this movie, and we know they're all either gonna die or something, and they can get the plans, and then it just leads into episode 4, and it's like, so there was absolutely zero stakes because I already knew how it was gonna end. And that's also how I felt about Halo Reach, the video game, because I already knew how the whole Reach event uh ended. And so yeah, it's just like a popcorn kind of show to just sit back and turn your brain off, because there's no real stakes whatsoever with the pre-existing characters who have already um existed in this franchise. um it'll be different with, like, for example, clones who were made specifically for this show, because they will be original characters and their stories could go any which way. So, not worried for everyone else though. And that's kind of all I have to say about this episode, and I will see you in the next.